Hi everyone, welcome back to Faith and Flour. If you're new here, my name is Robin. Thank you for joining me this week one day late. I hope that you had a wonderful Easter. We've just moved into a new home and we are still renovating our kitchen, but we are getting so much closer to being able to use it fully. We got our countertops this week, which means we got our sink, we've got running water, and we have the stove and the hood hooked up now, so I'm able to make meals in the kitchen once again. We chose a quartz from Caesarstone, which is called Off-White Marble Effect, and I really love it. We chose the Havsen sink from Ikea, which is a small farmhouse style sink, and I'm really enjoying that too. And how could I forget? We have a functioning dishwasher. I love it. I love that we were able to get panels to make it match and integrate it into the rest of the kitchen. Peyton didn't even realize that we had a dishwasher until we had it for a couple of days because he didn't know it was hidden back there. We also have this system inside the corner cabinets, which allows us to access those sort of hard to reach corners. And they came pre-lined, and I really liked this plastic liner from Ikea. So I bought several more rolls so that I can line all of the drawers and cabinets before I unpack things and put them away. More than anything, I just wanted to unpack all of the boxes in here, get everything put away so we could start using our kitchen once again. But I knew it would be really smart to just go ahead and take the time to get all of the drawers and all of the shelves lined because it's something that I'm not going to want to do later on. These liners are very sturdy, so I think they're going to last a very long time. They can be wiped down and washed. They will protect the bottoms of our drawers and cabinets from any scuffs and scrapes. It'll keep things from shifting around inside the drawers, and it will, of course, contain some minor spills. So I think it's going to be worth it to take this extra step right out of the starting gate so that our cabinets and drawers will last as long as possible. After cutting the first one, I realized that it's really easy to maintain a straight line because of the little dot pattern in the liner. So I could just mark exactly where I wanted to cut and then follow that line on both sides. That made things go a little bit quicker, and I didn't have any pencil smudge marks to wipe off afterwards. The only downside to these liners is that because they're so tightly rolled, they are hard to get to flatten out. So I had this idea that I would very carefully iron them, and it worked, sort of. So I'm not sure I would recommend it. I think really the best course is just to go ahead and put them in the bottom of the drawers, weight them down with whatever the contents is inside the drawers or the cabinets, and over time they will flatten out. And I actually was texting with a friend of mine and we were sort of laughing about it. She was dying to hear that I was ironing these. But it works okay as long as you use a very low setting on your iron. You don't want to get it so hot that it melts. And I found that if I used my little steamer a bit, it sort of worked. But I realized that it's probably not worth the effort to do them all. So after a while, I kind of gave up on that. After everything was lined, it was time to start unpacking and putting things away. I've been organizing in my head for quite a while, but it doesn't always turn out exactly how you think it will. So there's some tweaking along the way. I liked some of the methods that I used in our previous kitchen, so some of those things I'm going to bring over where they're going to work. And you'll see how I have some utensils that are already in sort of dividers and things like that, and I was able to find a similar place in this kitchen for those, which really helps out quite a lot. While I was getting things unpacked and put away, Patrick was installing the hood. So we had some roofers come the week before and get the vent installed on the roof, and Patrick took care of the rest. All I had to do was give him a little assistance. The hood is stainless steel, but it has a white film on it to protect it from scratching. We're probably going to need to take it down one more time when we have some tiling done behind it. So we thought we would leave it on there to keep it protected, but eventually we will take that off and I think it's gonna look great. While we were working, we could hear the wind kicking up outside, and this turned out to be the day that some tornadoes touched down a little north of here. You may have heard about those storms that came through Texas and other parts of the South. Fortunately, we just had some wind and a little bit of rain. I couldn't wait to make our first official meal in the kitchen. I did try out the oven once before, you guys might remember that in a previous video, but I did something super simple. In my last video, I showed you a sort of macaroni, almost like a hamburger helper that you make from scratch. And this is a version of that, only even easier because it comes from a box. It's from a brand called Annie's, and they make a lot of gluten-free items, and so the ingredients are actually not bad, and it couldn't have been easier. You basically just put everything together sort of like a box macaroni and cheese mix. You have the hamburger that you put in yourself, a little bit of milk, and then you can do whatever add-ins you like. So I did some cheddar cheese, and it turns out to be like a cheeseburger macaroni type one-pot meal. And this is the kind of thing that Peyton absolutely loves, so it was a big hit. The rest of the week I spent trying to get things unpacked as much as possible. I still have a little ways to go, and try to figure out the best spots for things and get things a little more organized in here. I took a break from kitchen organization a couple times during the week to get some smaller projects done, like putting together a headboard for Peyton's bedroom. also took a few minutes to remedy a cord situation that was happening in our bedroom. So both Patrick and I have a lot of things plugged into the wall behind our nightstands, and the way we had it kept our nightstand several inches away from the wall. So I found that device that I just showed you, which you can fold up and it keeps everything nice and flat. And then this one, which will hold 3 wires, so I can have my phone charger and my Kindle charger here. There's one more if I had an iPad or something like that. And they tuck neatly behind my nightstand so that I can grab it and charge up my devices and then tuck them away when I don't need them. If you are looking for some cord solutions as well, you will be able to find these in the home section of my Amazon store, and I'll have a link for that down in the description box. This is what it looked like behind Patrick's nightstand, and you can see how far away from the wall the furniture needed to be to accommodate all those cords. So now with these solutions, everything is tidied up and we can push the nightstand very close to the wall. It looks and functions so much better. Back in the kitchen, I continued with unpacking and organizing, and I put all of my most used kitchen gadgets in this drawer right next to the silverware drawer where it'll be easiest to access. As you can see, we're still missing 2 drawers. We're missing a few things from Ikea. The supply chain issue has been a real problem, but eventually we'll get those, and that means this wire will be able to be hooked up as well to the end of the island. We're gonna put an outlet there, but that can't be done until the drawer's installed. So we'll just deal with the situation as it is for the time being, and I will continue to fill the drawers that I do have with the things that I use most often. These are some items that I don't use every day, but I do use them on a weekly or monthly basis, so I'm putting them in a lower drawer for the time being. I was able to organize things under the sink very similarly to the way that I did it in our previous home. I used these small plastic containers from Ikea to contain some of the smaller items that I keep under here, and that makes it easy for me to slide them out and grab something that's in the back. And I also like using a dish tub like this. I just picked this one up, I think from Target, for a couple of dollars, and I can store things in it, but if there were ever a leak under the sink, it would contain it at least, for a couple of days, and it wouldn't ruin the bottom of our cabinet. We put the same cabinetry in my office area, and you'll see the hardware that we installed on all of the cabinets in here as well. I'll show you that in a future video in the kitchen. We just got that finished. We have some finishing touches that we need to do in here, and there is yet another missing drawer front from Ikea in this space. So we're not all the way there, but it's definitely ready to use. So I brought in my monitor, the printer, everything that I need to work on my videos, and got that set up this week as well. When it comes to office spaces and all of the tech equipment that everyone needs to use these days, there are tons of cords to deal with, and I don't have a great solution for it, but I did manage to tuck a lot of that behind the printer and just kind of keep it corralled and out of sight as much as possible. editing the last several videos on my laptop in our Airstream. It's a real pleasure to get to use my new office space. I'm excited to be putting together new content for you, and I hope that you will come back next week again on Sunday. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe. We would love to have you join our Faith and Flour community. You know I love to hear from you, so leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a wonderful week.